unstoppable Poilievre. Why his popularity surges after Liberal win? The shocking truth. Following the snap federal election on April 28, 2025, Canada is witnessing a fascinating political dynamic. Mark Carney, newly elected leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister, is enjoying the typical honeymoon period that often follows an election win. His approval ratings have surged as Canadians, freshly influenced by the momentum of victory, give the new government a chance to prove itself. This common post-election phenomenon sees voters rally behind the winner, even among those who supported opposition parties, reflecting a desire for stability and continuity in governance. Carney's current approval rating hovers near 67%, a figure that signals broad, if somewhat cautious, public support. His approach to leadership is notably pragmatic and cautious compared to his predecessor Justin Trudeau's more flamboyant style. Rather than pushing bold, sweeping reforms, Carney favors incremental progress and measured policies aimed at fostering unity and economic stability. For instance, his recent speeches have emphasized inclusivity and respect for diversity, aligning with public values around equality and social harmony. Carney's participation in Pride Month events and focus on a stronger, fairer Canada highlight his intent to appeal to a wide cross-section of Canadians by projecting an image of calm leadership focused on consensus building. Yet, even with the Liberals' recent victory and Carney's rising popularity, Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party, has demonstrated remarkable resilience in public opinion polls. Despite losing the federal election and his own parliamentary seat, Poilievre maintains a favorable rating of approximately 51%, with 49% unfavorable, a close split considering his political setbacks. This sustained support suggests that Poilievre's core message resonates with a significant portion of Canadians who remain skeptical of the Liberal government's policies and are attracted to Poilievre's promise of more assertive leadership and economic reform. Poilievre's continued appeal can be attributed in part to his outspoken stance on key issues like fiscal responsibility, government accountability, and immigration policy. His criticisms of the Liberal government's handling of the economy and immigration have struck a chord with voters concerned about inflation, housing affordability, and social services pressure. Many Canadians who feel that the government's policies have failed to deliver tangible improvements in their daily lives see Poilievre as a voice that speaks plainly to their frustrations. This has allowed him to maintain relevance and support even from outside Parliament, strengthening his hand ahead of the Conservative leadership review scheduled for January 2026, a critical moment that could redefine the party's future direction. One major challenge for the Conservative Party, however, remains internal cohesion and reform. Party members and activists are calling for greater transparency and democratization in candidate nominations and appointments. Many feel that the party's current centralized decision-making process alienates grassroots supporters and limits the diversity of voices within the party. Poilievre himself has acknowledged the need to clean house and promote a more inclusive, merit-based system to rebuild trust and energize the base. How he manages these internal reforms will be pivotal in uniting Conservatives and mounting a credible opposition against the Liberals. On the cultural front, Carney's focus on social inclusion and minority rights has elicited mixed reactions. While many Canadians support his inclusive rhetoric, others believe that the government sometimes overstates the urgency of cultural and identity issues. Critics argue that Canada has made significant progress on civil rights and that continual emphasis on fear and division can polarize rather than unify society. Debates around Pride events and the tone of public discourse reflect this tension. Calls from within the LGBTQ+ community to moderate certain parade expressions and behaviors highlight ongoing discussions about the balance between celebration, respect, and public sensibility. Immigration policy stands out as a particularly heated area in Canada's evolving political debate. Public attitudes toward immigration have shifted considerably in recent years, with a growing proportion of Canadians expressing concerns about the current levels of newcomers. Where once many Canadians believed immigration levels were appropriate, recent polls show a majority now feels immigration is too high. This change reflects worries about job competition, housing affordability, social cohesion, and public service capacity. The Conservative Party has wrestled with how best to address these concerns without alienating immigrant communities or appearing exclusionary. Some Conservative MPs have made missteps in discussing immigration, such as calls to reduce language requirements for citizenship, which sparked controversy and necessitated retractions. Nevertheless, party strategists recognize the need for clear, pragmatic immigration policies that respond to public sentiment while respecting Canada's multicultural values. Proposals to reduce immigration numbers substantially have been floated, with advocates suggesting cuts of up to 75% in certain categories. This approach is controversial but aligns with the desire to slow population growth temporarily, given Canada's low birth rate and resource constraints. Economic considerations underline much of this debate. While higher immigration contributes to overall GDP growth, the key measure for many voters is GDP per capita, the average economic output per person, which has declined. This discrepancy fuels arguments that immigration without sufficient integration and opportunity can undermine individual prosperity and social stability. Additionally, concerns about newcomers' cultural integration and connection to Canadian values remain prominent among many voters. The Conservative Party's challenge is to articulate a balanced, respectful immigration policy that addresses these complexities without feeding divisiveness. Despite the hurdles facing both parties, the political landscape remains fluid. Carney's Liberals benefit from the post-election surge, but must convert popularity into effective governance and policy achievements. Poilievre's Conservatives, meanwhile, must resolve internal issues and sharpen their messaging to capitalize on public frustrations. The upcoming leadership review will test Poilievre's ability to unify his party and present a compelling alternative vision for Canada's future. In conclusion, the 2025 election and subsequent developments have set the stage for a tense and competitive political environment. Mark Carney's cautious leadership style and focus on unity have earned him significant public support, yet Pierre Poilievre's persistence and message of reform resonate with many Canadians still seeking change. Issues such as immigration, economic management, and cultural identity remain central battlegrounds. How both leaders navigate these challenges will shape Canada's political trajectory. For Canadian voters, this means paying close attention to policy proposals, leadership actions, and the evolving political narrative. The balance of power may shift as public opinion evolves, and both Carney and Poilievre face the ongoing task of convincing Canadians that their vision for the country is the one best suited to address contemporary challenges. As the political drama unfolds, the resilience of Poilievre's popularity amid adversity remains one of the most striking features of this new chapter in Canadian politics.